Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Minnesota Mike back with you for another video. This is another one in my vlog series that I do through the Memphis Songwriters Association in conjunction with the blog that I write for them, all about songwriting and what has worked for various artists, various songwriters over the course of a handful of years. So on this latest kick, we've been talking about writing on assignment. So writing for other artists. We've talked about where somebody else writes the lyrics and you write the melody, talking about Crocodile Rock by Elton John. We also talked about Staying Alive by the Bee Gees in the context of writing for a film. Of course, television work equally as legitimate. We just decided to focus on film instead of television there. We also, in the last one, talked about writing a song, and for that particular one, you write it specifically for another artist with another artist in mind. And we looked at No Shoes, No Shirt, No Problems. This time, we're going to talk about where you write a song and another artist cuts it. Now, we kind of just looked at that with No Shoes, No Shirt, No Problems, but just as a reminder, Casey Beathard started the song, and then somebody said, hey, that'd be good for Kenny Chesney. And so at that point, he, still was maybe writing a little bit with Kenny Chesney in mind. But with this particular one, the person who wrote the song did not think of anybody else but herself when she was writing this song because it was a very personal experience. This time, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about Stupid Boy by Sarah Buxton. And of course, Keith Urban cut it, but Sarah Buxton wrote it originally, along with Dave Berg and Deanna Bryant. So, similar to No Shoes, like I said, this song was not written with the intention of somebody else cutting it. In fact, even after it was written, it was just one of those things. It wasn't on Sarah Buxton's mind because she wrote it about her divorce from her ex-husband. But Keith Urban heard the song and told his wife, Nicole Kidman, man, I wish I could write a song like that. And her response was, why don't you just cut that one rather than trying to write one like it? And, I don't want to downplay the importance of exposure for somebody else to cut your songs. But this is an excellent example that if your song speaks to an artist, the right people will find it. So, in other words, you write what's in your heart, not saying I think this song would be perfect for blank. If you build it, they will come, to quote a phrase from the Field of Dreams. So lyrically, this particular song tells the story of someone who is in a bad relationship with someone manipulative and abusive. She was precious like a flower. She grew wild, wild, and innocent. It starts out. Increasingly, it doesn't tell any of the stupid boy's background, only saying that she was this way until he ruined it. So maybe he was always that way. That's kind of the implication. The power of diving right into the chorus and scolding the stupid boy for his behavior is just stunning. It should be noted that there are two well known versions of this song. So there's Urban's version and then Buxton's version. Buxton's version was recorded after Keith's version was already a hit. It's really worth listening to both versions because they give us very different vibes. Sarah wrote it based off of a personal experience. Like I said, an abusive ex, that divorce. So when she says it at the end, presumably to a current slash soon to be former lover, you're that same old, stupid boy. It comes off as from a very real, visceral place. However, in Keith's version of the song, he concludes with, I'm that same old, stupid boy. And it adds a bit of vulnerability that isn't there when it's sung from a woman's perspective. And truly, it should be noted, there shouldn't be any vulnerability or culpability from the woman's perspective in this particular song. So, it's one of those things that it just sounded, ooh, man, a little bit different. But once you know that backstory, okay, yeah, this actually makes sense. But they are definitely two different vibes. In Keith's version, the ending is pleading with God to let her know that he's sorry. And that is kind of an added twist as well. to his version. So melodically, the song has a slow cadence accentuated by an acoustic guitar, an accordion over the verses, adding a slide guitar, electric guitar, and drums as the song builds to the pre-chorus and chorus. Its slow, intimate feel fits the somber tone of the lyrics, and it allows for the gut punches throughout, especially at the end when he declares that he's that same old stupid boy. The song is in E flat, but the guitar is dropped, or in drop D tuning, I should say, with a capo on that first fret. Relative to the capo, the intro chords are G sus2 to D sus2, and then the A becomes that 5 chord. In the verse, the progression continues, but the movement is between G sus2 and D, and it's pushed, meaning the change to the D chord comes just before the downbeat instead of on the downbeat. By pushing that D chord, it adds some tension with the suspenses and the suspended chord, the suspenses of the suspended chord, I should say. The chord has the G sus2, but it goes from D, the 1 chord, to the A, that's the 5 chord in the first 2 lines, and in the third line it has that G sus D B minor to an A, and then repeats the chords in the first line, but adds that A sus4. Rhythmically for the chorus, the D chord is on the downbeat, and that opens up the rhythm to the melody to support the lyrics. The bridge starts with that G sus2, the 4 chord, and it substitutes the B minor, the 6 chord, for the D, which is the 1 chord, and then it goes to the A, which is the 5 chord. So the G sus2 B minor pushed to an alternating with that G sus2 D on the downbeat to the A. It does this twice and then ends the A sus4 chord. This is a very effective bridge whereby pushing the B minor mimics the verses, and placing the D on the downbeat mimics those choruses. For reference, the Sarah Buxton version is in the key of G, but it's played with the G chord on the 10th fret using the D shape on the guitar. So structurally, this particular song follows a verse, chorus, bridge, solo, chorus, ending format, similar to The House That Built Me and One, as mentioned in a previous blog. The bridge kind of sneaks up on you, and it happens rather quickly as it uses the same chords as the end of the chorus when he sings, "She never even knew she had a choice." After the addressing of the stupid boy in the chorus, of course, the second verse builds nicely on that, asking what made him think he could take a life and just push it around. Below you will find both the Stupid Boy version by Sarah Buxton, and then also Keith Urban's version. Keith Urban's version is first, and then Sarah's is second. In my next blog, I will talk about outdated visuals within songs, so we'll chat about that. As always, thank you so much for listening, for watching, and if you were a reader, I hope that you are, then you can check out this particular blog and vlog. The blog, of course, is on the Memphis Songwriters Association website, memphisongwritersassociation.org. Just go to our blog tab and check out the songwriting tab under there, so you can check out all my blogs. And of course, my vlogs are on YouTube. But as always, I appreciate you watching. I am Minnesota Mike. Thank you so much.